All right. So creating HyperDocs with slides is very similar to creating with a Google Doc. However, you got a lot more options when you use slides. I think if I was creating Google HyperDocs, I would be using Google Slides just because of the more options. So this is your traditional Google Slides. Again, you could use PowerPoint. But we're going to be featuring Google Slides here. So one thing that you might want to think about is obviously you always have, like I said, a traditional slide deck. You can go into your file and just like in your Google Docs, go to that page setup. And now you can kind of get you can customize the size of this document. So traditionally, a piece of paper is an 8 by 11, correct? So if you type in that custom size of 8 by 11, it's going to give you that more of that, document look essentially. And you can make that size anything you want. So again, file, page setup, and you'll just customize that size. So I'm going to play with this size today just to give you a different option here. Obviously, with slides, you have all sorts of custom themes. You could totally still use a theme if you wanted on this slide deck, but we're just going to go with kind of a basic slide. You can choose a background just like you did with your Google Doc. You can choose a color background, okay, where it's going to change that entire color, or you can even choose an image. Some of you might be familiar with the Bitmoji classrooms. You could set this up essentially almost like a Bitmoji classroom as well and have kind of that fun theme background and things going on there. We're just going to leave mine blank. I'm going to be boring today. And again, now with a doc or a slide, remember you have kind of more layout options. So you have the options to, create that header at the top, that title at the top, essentially. You have some options to section up your slide deck and do all sorts of different types of columns and things like that. But again, I'm just going to start blank for right now and kind of show you how to create from blank. One nice thing about using Google Slides is that when you come to your insert options here, you have lots more options in a Google Doc, or a Google Slide. So you'll have the option for a text box. We'll talk about audio in just a little bit, video, shapes, there's your tables again, charts, diagrams, and word art. So remember in Docs, we were able to do that, and we can do it here as well. This was done in drawings when we were in a Google Doc. This can be done right from the Google Slide. So from here, then I have those options to create some fun letters from that word art and so on. I can also, right from here, I'm kind of trying to make this look like the one that we made earlier. I can add that image. So if I have like an image I want to add here, I use the example with the Bitmojis. So I'm going to copy that image, paste it. Right, so now I have that header, and if you have this header saved already somewhere as an image on your computer, you'd be able just to add this right from insert image and grab that image from wherever you have it on your computer as well. I can use, now one thing to know is obviously with the slides, you're going to need to be inserting text boxes when you're writing. So unlike a document where you can just kind of click and type, you will need to insert a text box to get going and write any directions maybe at the top or introductions at the top and so on. Okay. And just like a doc, you're going to be able to also insert the table. So just as we did, we're going to kind of recreate the one we did earlier as well. You'll be able to insert that table, and from here you'll be able to drag those up. Sorry, I should have been able just to drag it right on up there. There we go. Drag it up there. Okay, and start creating with this table as well. And if you remember in the docs, we merged the two cells. We can do that as well. So I highlight the cells, merge cells. From here, I can add that title. If I want to take this cell and fill it in with a color, I can do that as well. I have to highlight. Fill. No, I don't have to highlight. Sorry, I said to fill it in. And then I can type in the title of this box. As normal, I can't type, people. There we go. I can add an image in this box just like we did before. So by either right-clicking, or I cannot right-click. I always forget. It's back and forth with the two. Insert an image. There we go. I'm going to bring it in from my computer this time. Whoa, that's a little big. There we go. I will have to drop it on top of that file there, and then you'll be able to bring those images. And then same, begin to add any of those directions that you want to add. I can add inside this table another table just like we did earlier, the 1-by-1 table, which then will allow me to create that look of having a box for them to write their answer in. Okay, so it's starting to shape up just like we had there, the Google Doc ones. Again, I can take this entire document, or this entire table, copy and paste it. So now that I have a duplicate that looks very similar. One feature I don't know that I pointed out when we were looking at Docs is the Google Explore option. So down here, very bottom here, I have this Explore button. And when I click that, it's going to open up. It's essentially a Google search bar. So let's say I wanted to add an image of like the United States. We're studying something in the United States and I need an image there for my students to look at. I can actually grab that right from, if I was going to do a Google search for a map anyways, I can do it right from this Explore tab. And I'll go to Images. And then you'll see it'll give me any of those options that I like. And when I find one I like, I'm just going to click on it and click the Add button. And it adds it right into my Google slide. And from here, I can go ahead and shape it, add it if I need to add it into one of these smaller tables, whatever I need to do there. But I can do that, close out of it, and then continue building from here. Now, one nice thing with Google Slides, using it for HyperDocs, is that you can link pictures. And remember seeing me do that in the Google Docs. It's not super easy, but in Google Slides, it is very easy. So let's say I wanted to add a video icon on this map, so students knew to click there to watch a quick video. So I'm going to pull, you can insert photo from pretty much anywhere, but I know I have this icon in my drive. So I'm going to go to my drive and I'm going to grab this icon that I have. It's going to load that in and I'm going to be able to shape it, place it where I'd like it to go. Let's say it's a video about the great state of Michigan. Maybe I placed a bunch of little videos all over this map for them to click. Okay, so now I need to grab the link for the video. So I've just gone to YouTube. I'm going to grab that link to share. Again, copy it, go back to my HyperDoc. Now you see that the image is highlighted, and from here, I don't have to drag over it, highlight it. It's just, once it's encased and it's highlighting there, I can go right up to this insert link and paste that link in. So now when students click on this, that video will pop up and they'll be able to watch it. Okay. One other really cool feature with using Google Slides is that you can actually insert audio. So if you have an audio file that you would like to insert and kids be able to listen to, you can do that as well. You do need to make sure you can, one, add it as like a hyperlink. So let's say you had like a podcast. I mean, you could do this on a Google Doc as well by just simply adding the link to whatever it is you want them to listen to. So if it's a file somewhere saved on your computer or from a website, you can simply just link it for them to listen to. But if you have files that are saved, one in your Google Drive, you can insert the audio file right from Google Drive. And what's kind of fun about it is that it leaves this little icon here for you. And then you can hear it here. So you can record your message. Okay, so you can hear the message. And then this little guy, if I can grab him. Oh, goodness. Okay, so he's down here at the bottom, but I can, oh, there we go, make him a little bigger. So I can grab it and drop it somewhere, and so it looks like, obviously like a little image, and then kids would be able to click on it and listen to that piece of audio. The other feature you have is leaving voice notes with something like an extension like Mote. And Mote will allow you to highlight text, and just like in Google Docs or in Google Slides, and you could do this on your doc as well. You can click on Add Comment, and if you have the extension Mote installed, you can record some directions, read aloud, whatever you need to do. You have about 30 seconds of recording there. Click Done. And then it leaves it as a audio comment for them. And so they'll know to listen to these comments as they're kind of searching through this doc as well. Okay, so those are some of the basics of creating a HyperDoc with slides. Obviously, mine is kind of a mess here, but let's look at one that's somewhat finished. So if you look at this one, this is a good example. It's, essentially making a slide deck, but you're making it useful to the students. So students have text boxes they can type in. You can get a lot of information on a slide. You can make it colorful, very visual for students. And then adding those links for them to reach out, type on different things can be a really great way to engage in the learning.